Welcome back to Brown Short Brain. Today we're continuing the topic of the Bronze Age collapse. Civilization crumbles. So the Bronze Age collapse was a period of turmoil and destruction that destroyed many of the great Bronze Age countries. It hindered human progress by centuries and destroyed some of the greatest nations and prevented things like trade, science, mathematics, and much more. And it led to a sort of dark age, which was basically a time when there wasn't much advancement happening. What could have caused this? Possibility 1. The Sea People. The Sea People were a group of mysterious people who supposedly came on boats. There are multiple records from multiple civilizations of these people who were brutal invaders, invading all of these Bronze Age civilizations and completely ransacking and destroying them. Not much is known about these Sea People, but since so many civilizations feature them, it's quite possible that they played a huge part in causing the Bronze Age collapse. It's not possible for multiple civilizations to just come up with the same myth at the same time. So yes, and these Sea People might have even had iron, which has a complete advantage against bronze by being tougher. And they also had a huge navy by the virtue of being from the sea, so that might have given them a slight edge over some of the powers that didn't have as good of a navy. Next, we have an economic collapse. These societies were incredibly complex with multiple layers of caste and bureaucracy. This could have made even a small natural disaster like a flood or drought, anything like that, turn into a massive economic collapse. We can take the example of ancient Egypt. Ancient Egypt had farmers working on the fields, and they had multiple layers of bureaucracy above that until it got to the pharaoh. So, even if there was a small cut in the farmer's yield, it could prove disastrous. There might have been a huge natural disaster that caused farming to collapse for a year, and this could have caused a complete economic collapse, disrupting the system totally. And then we have the fundamental problem with bronze. Bronze is basically an alloy. It's a combination of tin and copper. And it's kind of hard to make, considering that while copper reserves were fairly plentiful, tin mines were rather rare, and we still aren't sure how these civilizations got enough tin. There are theories that they could have gotten it from parts of Europe, and of course, places like Assyria had tin reserves, though not nearly big enough to supply all these huge civilizations. And compared to bronze, iron was much stronger. Bronze was more soft and malleable compared to tough iron that gave any civilization that used iron a huge advantage against civilizations that used bronze. Their weapons and tools could be much better and stronger. Revival or speculation? You must be wondering how things got back to scientific advancement and overall advancement for the human race. So, for a few hundred years, it was a complete dark age. Not much advancement took place, and there was a lot of war. But then, after that, there were two huge game-changing civilizations. There was the Achaemenid Persian Empire that conquered a massive area and advanced culture and science. And there was classical Greece, of course, that advanced science, philosophy. But they didn't conquer nearly as large of an area, but still they played a crucial role in getting humanity back on track. And finally, before we end, I'd like to leave you with a thought. So, if this Bronze Age collapse has not happened, imagine how far ahead we would be. We would be in some sort of futuristic society, considering that before the Bronze Age collapse, there were many advanced technologies being developed. It's possible that given a few more centuries, it could have developed to the point of, say, the Renaissance world. And if it continued like this for centuries and millennia, by today the world could have been a completely different futuristic civilization. Well, it's up to you to think about it. And anyway, now we come to the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and this is Branch Our Brain signing off.